Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Squat Cobbler. I am evil bald Dr. Mike, and you can find me at Official Pagan on everything. And joining me, as always, our party host when we reach 1,000 subscribers.
And when you do a Google search on Evil Bald Dr. Mike, what you're going to get when the results come back is a hit on all of those words, except you're going to see doctor crossed out. And so
I am a doctor.
that's the
I'm a
way.
medical doctor.
What you buy doesn't make who you are. So
I disagree. There's an entire generation of influencers who disagree with you,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So you're a medical influencer.
I'm a medical influencer.
Super. That sounds awesome. What could go wrong there? Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHL on Twitter and Instagram. And be sure to like and subscribe to the Bog Panda YouTube channel.
1,000. This guy's throwing a party.
Read the caption.
So anyway, we got some exciting news today, I think. So Atari is going to be having an auction. They're going to be auctioning off among digital items. It says they're also going to be auctioning off an original Centipede cabinet. So that's an interesting thing for people who are looking to build up their game rooms like we are. Uh, Kelly, are you a Centipede guy first and foremost?
I am. I am a big fan of Centipede. So that was always a really fun game to play. And as we talk more about, I was unaware that Centipede as a franchise could be extended in the ways it sounds like it's going to be extended with all the stuff Atari's got going on. But no, I always thought Centipede was a fun game. It was one of those early ones where trackball acumen was super helpful. The better you were with there, it was pretty good.
Now, do you see yourself, because we don't have too much information yet? This was announced. There's going to be the digital items, and then of course the Centipede cabinet. This is going to be an auction. Do you see yourself, if it's a reasonable buy-in price for this, vying for this original Centipede cabinet?
Yeah, I'll go in early, at certain price points. I'm willing to give it a shot on that because I mean to get an original and some of the other goodies that kind of come with it. You get an autograph from the game designer and these types of things. Sounds actually really cool. So I don't like my chances because there are people that are probably a lot more passionate about Centipede than I am,
Yeah.
and will be willing to put a lot of money down. But I'll put a bid in. I'll take a shot at it. And so that part's cool. How about you? First of all,
I'm kind of in the same place as you. I'm definitely interested, of course. I'm definitely going to put a bid in for it early and smaller,
yeah,
probably much like you. I'm not, I have always enjoyed Centipede. I'm not a rabid fan, though, I would say. And obviously, this is designed for the rabid fan to go after, whether you're an Atari collector or a Centipede fan, the combination to get there to put that kind of money into an original cabinet. And like Kelly said, lots of other cool stuff, autographs and things like that from the game creator. That interests me probably more than the cabinet, though, to be honest with you, because I am building up my game room. And these are the 3/4 scale cabinets. So they're a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter, which allows me to fit more
yeah.
cabinets into my game room. So this is something that's going to take up a lot more space. Not that I would turn it down, but it is something to think about size wise and things like that. How that's going to work, but I would make it work for an original cabinet. But the autograph thing definitely is tempting to me. I'm definitely a collector. I don't know if you are, sir.
Yeah, I am definitely. I mean, anytime you can get some some kind of particularly unique items, try
Yeah.
and go for those. So that's pretty cool. Some around here, and I've got to find it. Back in my college days, the residence that I lived in had a Donkey Kong cabinet, which was awesome. Until someone broke the front panel of it, the plexi on the front, and it was removed. But because that was damaged, I've got that around here somewhere. So I have like 9/10 of the front panel screen of Donkey Kong somewhere. I don't know where anymore. If I can find it, we'll eventually put a picture up. Probably not for this podcast, but we'll do one through. But I've got that. So unique things I really do like.
That is really cool. Yeah, I used to collect all kinds of stuff, and then of course space becomes an issue.
Mhm.
So I've definitely become more interested in kind of unique collector's items now. Especially things I love horror movies and music and things like that. So definitely things that kind of fit into my subgenre of interests there. So like for example, one of the things that I have, I'm kind of putting this display case together slowly that I'll eventually have of like my favorite things or the most interesting or unique things that I have. So for example, I have a piece of the dock from the original movie Friday the 13th, things like that. I have a piece of a house where a cult stayed, a cult leader's house that burned down his mansion that he had, where Led Zeppelin also recorded. But I'll be honest with you, I got it because of the cult, not because of Led Zeppelin. Not to take a shot at Led Zeppelin, but more a fan of the cult than of Led Zeppelin. So things like that are going to go into this display case. So as a collector, of course, the other things like the autograph and stuff are very interesting to me.
Yeah, I've got kind of numerous autographs, and I'm out of practice because we used to talk about this a lot. We just haven't had the chance so much as well. So Mike's got the piece of deck, Friday the 13th. But I've got I have one of there were two prop eggs for Piranaconda, and one of them sank. It was filmed in Hawaii. One of them sank, and the other one's in my living room. So it's
I
pretty.
did not know this, Kelly.
Yes, I know it's a shocker. They'll probably. I should be able to provide a picture in the video of the prop egg from Piranaconda. It's actually there.
Definitely, absolutely, you should. Which is, and that is a really cool thing to have, especially like I said, I collect a lot of movie stuff. I have things from like props and things from a few different movies. Weirdly, I don't have too many props from the movies that I have worked on.
Yeah, I was
People have
surprised,
asked me,
but you do for some, right? Well, not props. You have a little bit of merch. Don't you have like a
"Oh,
cereal
I do,
box?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah." I have some of the merch. I don't collect all of the merchandise, especially. So the biggest film that I was a part of was a movie called Evil Bong. There are hundreds of merchandise items that have been released for that. Everything from cereal to Evil Bong soap. There's toys, T-shirts, posters, anything that you can put Evil Bong on, lighters. They've done it, and they're going to continue to to do it because it generates millions of dollars for people who aren't me every every year. So yeah, I don't have all of Evil Bong merchandise just because there's a ridiculous amount of it. I do have a bong, the Evil Bong, one of the statues. I have the graphic novel, the cereal box, and a few other things.
Excellent. Yeah. Going going back to the auction for the both of you and I have said we'll put in a low bid and we're out. We're just going to go through. I don't be surprised, folks, if you turn on your news one evening and go, two podcasters or two members of a very low viewed YouTube show got into a bidding war over a centipede, and and it cuts to one of the two households where one was going. I don't know how it went this far, but.
One of them is a doctor, weird.
Further investigation to follow on this alleged.
He said he's a medical influencer.
Yeah, you're going to be the gift that keeps on giving there. Sounds good. So physical.
Absolutely. Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say this is actually one of the things that Atari has going on right now. Atari's been very busy lately. We have actually talked about on this show. I got the Atari Fight Stick, which is actually made by Micro Center, but licensed officially from Atari. Very large arcade joystick. Comes in a few different sizes and configurations, though. They also offer an official Atari branded Raspberry Pi, which comes with licensed Atari games and things like that on there. So they've been doing that, licensing out games to all of the retro gaming companies. You can find Atari products on, Arcade One Up cabinets, on at games, pretty much anywhere that's licensing games, they're licensing them out to them. And then they finally came out with the Atari VCS, which is something they've been talking about for a few years. Essentially, it's a superpower Raspberry Pi, I guess, based on the specs of it. they were pushing it as a gaming console PC hybrid. I don't know though. When you say gaming PC to most people, I don't think this is what they're thinking of. They're
No.
thinking of something with a lot more horsepower
Yeah.
than this. So I think it's probably more accurate to say like a super powered Raspberry Pi setup for it that allows you to do some streaming and some web browsing as well. But more importantly, or tied into that actually as well, they've come up with their own currency.
The Atari token.
Yes.
So
Now, where are you at in tying up some of your financial resources in Atari tokens?
yeah, it's all I deal with. We, we are 100% Atari token. You know, I cashed in everything.
Like we spend far less money now.
Yeah, it's odd. A lot of people, it's like, do you accept Atari tokens? They don't. Um, I am on the, let's say I'm on the low end on Atari token ownership. How about you?
None yet. I would probably try it out just to kind of get into the ecosystem a little bit because the Atari hotels are coming.
Yes, this is
So I'm sure that those will heavily use Atari tokens.
yeah.
Are you going to be staying at a
I will
Atari
absolutely
hotel?
be staying in an Atari hotel,
Yes.
particularly one. First of all, being given the fact that I'm all Atari token now, I've got no. It's the only hotel I can stay at. But they're gonna, I didn't see the dates on this, but they're gonna put one in Las Vegas, and so I cannot think of anything better than to go to Las Vegas and stay in an Atari hotel. Swimming in Atari tokens and just kind of doing a good time. The renderings will include a screenshot of some of the hotels. They could look kind of Logan's Runny, or they're just kind of very kind of futuristic kind of look to it. But I will, first opportunity presents itself, I am staying at an Atari hotel.
I'm absolutely going to stay at an Atari hotel, and it's going to be the Vegas one. Because where was the other one?
Um, it was
Not
right.
Vegas.
It was right here, Mike.
Yeah. It was right there.
Yeah, right there.
Not Vegas. That's where the other
Not
one's
Vegas.
at.
There's the Vegas one, and then there's the other one we're listing down below.
Yeah. Which isn't in Vegas. I'm definitely going to stay at the Vegas one.
Yeah, that sounds like that's what could go wrong. Be super
Right?
awesome.
I haven't been to Vegas in many, many years either. So I've been planning a trip because I have friends and family who live in and around Las Vegas. So it'd be nice to get back out there. A friend actually that I've been working a lot with, my friend Ryan, he lives in Las Vegas now. So it'd be cool to go out there and do some stuff with him. And where else could I possibly stay but the Atari Hotel?
That's right. I don't see how.
And Kelly will be there too because Atari tokens. That's what he lives off of now.
That's right. It's the only place I can stay. So it'll be fun.
He'll need me when we go to a place that accepts, lower forms of currency.
That's right.
So are you a cryptocurrency guy at all?
I am not. I want to be one. I want to understand it. Cryptocurrency and blockchain are two things to say. You need to have a good handle on this, and I have applied myself a few times moderately to get to a better position to understand them, and I still have a lot to go. So one thing I'm going to propose is that we do a future squat cobbler, which will be influencer Dr. Mike's cryptocurrency 101. And you can kind of bring me up to speed a little bit more, maybe some of our listeners. But I am not, beyond, of course, cornering the market on Atari tokens, but I am not a cryptocurrency guy. But I know this is somewhat familiar territory for you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to say we were early adopters of it, but we started accepting cryptocurrency for things related to the business side of things. People could buy merchandise and stuff like that with cryptocurrency. I don't invest, I'm not a cryptocurrency investor the way that some people are. A lot of people invest large amounts of money in it so they can make money off of the exchange rates. That's great for them. I am not disciplined enough to follow the markets well enough to take advantage of that for myself, if that makes sense. So we do deal in it as far as selling merchandise and things like that, but that's kind of where it stays. But I do understand it.
Good. Well, you can help me and maybe some of our listeners out. How are you on blockchain? Because I need a little bit of help there too.
Yeah, I can explain the blockchain to you. And then there's a few different forms of cryptocurrency that we accept. And it's cool too, because there are some websites where they'll let people, like if we're doing, say, a live stream event or things like that, there are websites that will allow people to tip you in cryptocurrency and things like that as well. So, so we're up on it, but I don't invest in it the way I like. I know people who are heavily, deeply involved in that whole world and invest a large amount of money in cryptocurrency. That's not me. IRS, if you're listening.
It'll be the 6 part series on the influencer medical doctor.
Yeah.
This is the cryptocurrency chapter. You are going to be the gift that keeps on giving. This is going to be good stuff.
Well, I think Atari's doing some interesting things. I did want to ask you though before we wrap this up, the Atari VCS. Have you checked it out at all? Do you have any interest in this?
Um, I sort of always had kind of a soft spot for Atari and 2600 first kind of exposure to home video gaming there. Always just kind of liked Atari. I did watch a couple of videos on folks because I know it's a long time. It was one of those things that was like in a Kickstarter for like 40 years or something. I mean, it was
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a few years, I believe.
it was a long run, and some people were basically starting to go, "Hey, just give me my money back because I don't think this thing's ever going to come out." And it finally did, and so I think it may have suffered a little bit from that much buildup and that much expectation, and then it finally does deliver, and then you've been waiting so long. I saw it; it looked intriguing to some degree. But when I think about the other options that are out there, there wasn't too much about it that I was like, wow. And here is the one amazingly different thing about this that opens up doors that I can't get to other ways. And so there wasn't anything in there that really lit me up to go, yeah. I think price wise was another somewhat deterrent that if I'm not going to really up my situation anyway significantly versus if I've got a Legend and a Super Console X and these kinds of environments, and I don't really get a lot of new with this. I just it's not on any kind of short list for me. I think it's interesting. I think design wise, it's pretty cool what they've done with it to kind of harken back to that original video console game a little bit. So I thought that part's pretty cool, but I'm just not like super chomping at the bit to go out and get one. You?
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
It definitely it has that sort of retro futurism thing to it, where you can see the design elements they pulled from the 2600, but gave it more sleek, modern kind of remix, if you will. But essentially, it mainly plays retro games, which I'm building a whole arcade. That's why would I want a console that just does that? And especially when I have the Atari Fight Stick, which has more games on it, comes with more built-in content than the more expensive console does.
Yeah, and a deck, an actual
Right,
deck to play games on, even though it's massive, but it's still a deck.
right, still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing against consoles, but for me, I spend way more time gaming wise retro gaming. So and I know that this is they're trying to build up an ecosystem similar to what Eck Games has with their Atari stuff. So nothing against what they're doing, but like I have a lot of, like Kelly said, we have the Legends, we have different things. Kelly has Super Console X. I almost did. We have all these different options though to play retro games. So to go out and purchase something else to play retro games, it needs to do something else for me. And streaming isn't that thing when I can stream from every monitor in this house. So that's not the thing that's going to sell me. It does have new games for it, but there was only a couple of them available at launch and nothing that seemed like I have to go and play that. So I think that's really what it's going to come down to. the lifespan of this console. It's going to come down to what kind of new games does it have, because even as a retro gaming fan, you have those games available to you legally on other means. And even like we said, the fight stick comes with 150 built-in licensed Atari games. That's far more than comes with the actual console does. So you just have you have a lot of other options to get this same content, especially when Atari is licensing out many of their titles to anybody, I think, who's making something retro gaming oriented. So I'm just not sold. It just needs to do something else. It
Yeah.
needs to have good new games or have something else that it does other than play retro games and streaming, because I can already do that in every room of this house.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure at all the Atari hotels there'll be one of these in every one of the hotel rooms, and you're perfectly welcome to take it home with you when you leave. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sure that's.
But
the
I'm
way.
definitely going to stay at the Atari Hotel.
Yeah.
Definitely staying at the Atari Hotel. Probably will get some Atari tokens. I don't know if I'm going to devote like a lifestyle change the way the Kelly is to the Atari blockchain, but yeah, I'm going to get some Atari tokens just to see, and then 100% planning to stay at the hotel when that opens.
Definitely. Very cool. All right, good stuff. Again, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you have liked and subscribed, and we will be sure to be back to talk more retro gaming content soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.